Tonight, a man sentenced to almost 50 years jail for murdering a pig farmer while high on ice.
More MPs caught up in the citizenship saga.
Manus Island outrage as refugees' hellish living conditions are revealed.
And the law catches up with an alleged fraudster who fleeced Australian families of millions.
This is NBN News with Natasha Beyersdorf and Paul Lobb.
Good evening. An ice addict who murdered a Sydney farmer for money for his next drug hit has today been jailed for almost half a century.
Ryan Adams has never shown any remorse for beating Keith Seeney to death or attacking his wife, who was forced to play dead to save her own life.
The motive was as simple as it was shocking.
The citizenship fiasco is threatening to turn into a constitutional crisis, with claims it's simply not known how many MPs are eligible to govern the country. All this just as the Prime Minister is out of the country, preparing to meet world leaders in Vietnam.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Malcolm Turnbull is in Vietnam making friends among old foes.
Great to see you. Thanks a lot.
And with a constitutional crisis and the nation's leader overseas, it's not a good look for the Turnbull government. Political reporter Lane Calcutt explains.
It's 42 years tomorrow since the original constitutional crisis and the sacking of the Whitlam government.
Lane Calcutt there. He once accused China of raping America. But today, in a major about-face in Beijing, Donald Trump praised the country's trade practices.
Who can blame a country for being able to take advantage of another country for the benefit of its citizens?
An 18-year-old man has died after crashing his motorbike into a parked car in the Hunter Valley this morning. The Lake Macquarie teenager was riding the postie bike along a quiet street near Maitland around 3 a.m. before he hit a parked four-wheel drive. The rider died at the scene. A year since the disappearance of Hunter teenager Zach Barnes, his family remains in anguish. Determined to keep the case alive, volunteers will scour bushland this weekend near where he went missing.
It's been 362 days of unimaginable pain for Karen Goodall and her family.
The development boom shows no sign of slowing down, with another residential project slated for honeysuckle. It comes as the council unveiled a one-stop shop for the influx of tourists to the city ahead of the supercars.
Another day, another Newcastle space revitalised, but this one is different.
A Lake Macquarie woman has embarked on a journey almost 2 decades in the making. Wendy Evans is attempting to become the first severely disabled person to sail solo around the lake.
For 15 years, Wendy Evans has wanted to sail solo around Lake Macquarie.
Well done, Wendy. Go well. The Barrington Tops is leading the fight to save some of Australia's most endangered species. The story of Devil Ark, set up to help the Tasmanian devil, is well known, and now Aussie Ark will lead the effort to save other endangered species.
It was a traditional opening for a revolutionary initiative.
Still to come, the incredible moment an out-of-control car wipes out another vehicle in a hospital car park.
The driver charged over the Greenacre school tragedy has responded to the remarkable message of forgiveness from the family of Jihad Darwish, one of the 2 boys killed in the accident. It came as Maha El Shanag was seen for the first time since Tuesday's crash.
Complying with her bail conditions, Maha El Shanag this afternoon reported to Bankstown Police Station.
But in the meantime, it's over to Gavin Morris with a quick look at our weather. And Gav, what's in store for the weekend?
Well, the weather is in real speed there, Lobby, and everything will be rolling through as expected, and that is onshore winds. Those easterly winds have been a bit of a feature right across the entire region, even across the northwest, but it's still very warm over the Moree Plains, up around 30 degrees. It'll be fine there, warm for the upper Hunter. Newcastle Central Coast mostly fine. The mid-north coast, Manning looking pretty good. The only chance of shower is going to be around northern New South Wales. They've been streaming in over the Gold Coast tonight, and there's a little more of that to continue over the weekend. But a closer look at all of your local weekend weather details headed your way real soon.
Thanks, Gav. Ahead in the news. Prince Harry honours the fallen ahead of Remembrance Day.
And the natural wonder transforming the night sky in Finland. To finance, and 10 stocks remain in a trading halt despite news CBS can purchase the struggling network. Elsewhere, it was a mixed day of trading. Most of the big banks and the miners fell slightly, while new Australian minerals exploration company Tando Resources skyrocketed around 30% on the back of recent dig site inspections. To the commodities, and both gold and oil were down. But the Australian dollar was stronger, finishing the day higher against most of the majors. It's currently trading at 76.87 US cents.
Aurora Borealis was visible across most of the country. Aurora Borealis. Got it. It's time for sport now with Sam Djodan.
And Sam, some distractions for the Kangaroos this week.
Well, at least for one of their star players. Coming up after the break, Kangaroos coach Mal Meninga backs James Maloney despite a turbulent week off field. And Mitchell Starc roughs up his captain. Kangaroos coach Mal Meninga has backed James Maloney to bounce back against Lebanon tomorrow night, despite his turbulent week off the field. Maloney is still trying to sort out his playing future and only returned to camp on Monday after taking leave for a personal issue.
James Maloney is the only Kangaroo without a cap this World Cup.
Two of Hunter Rugby's best have earned call-ups to the New South Wales Waratahs. Former Hamilton lock Nick Palmer has picked up a one-year deal with the Super Rugby side, while Australian under-20 and Wanderers prop Harry Johnson-Holmes has graduated from the Youth Pathway program for a 3-year deal. He's enjoying a record-breaking run of form, but Jets target man Roy O'Donovan isn't getting carried away. He knows his goal-scoring streak will face a stern test on Saturday, heaping praise on opponent Adelaide. He's scoring goals for fun, 7 of them so far, to tie an A-League record. The Maitland Triathlon returns on Sunday after a 5-year absence, and organisers are confident it's here to stay. A strong local contingent will lead the charge in the elite division, including a star of the future, Lorcan Redmond. Some last-minute Ks on the bike before Sunday's showdown. He's a determined athlete, no doubt.
Sure
he'll be doing
is.
big things.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Next up, Gavin Morris with the weather. Time now to take a look at our weekend weather forecast with Gav.
Thanks, Tash. It is certainly lovely spring weather at the moment across the region. Super comfortable temperatures, nice and cool at night, and lovely daytime maximums. We've got a little more of that to unfold across the weekend. This evening's weather shot, this is beautiful stuff here, Hawk's Nest. We've got back to the weather shot. There it is, beautiful colours, lovely reflection there looking out across the water. Let's get back to the weather situation now. A little bit of rain there over the Tweed in the northeast, and some big storms there over the northern tropics of Queensland around Cairns. Taking a look at the satellite image on this Friday night, mid to high level scattered cloud will push overhead tonight. A little bit of low-lying cloud. Those beautiful queues have been forming up. We've got more of that action happening across the weekend. This cloud mass is going to deliver some rain across the interior. We're going to see showers and thunderstorms unfold right throughout the Alice, extending all the way north to the Territory. But it's this slow high, incredibly slow. We're closer to its centre, luckily, and that's keeping conditions relatively dry for us, but it's also helping push all of that warm air down into the south. So really hot weekend on the way for Adelaide and the west. The storms, there they are from the Alice to the north. It's going to be warm in the southeast. Sydney, like us, will be consistent, very comfortable. Further north, Brisbane, a shower or two, and Cairns has got more showers. The entire Queensland coast is going to see shower activity this weekend. Temperature-wise today, it's just beautiful stuff. The suburbs really lapping it up around the 23 mark. Beautiful for the Central Coast and Port Stephens, Nelson Bay, polished, clean, beautiful, shining, sparkling spring day. Singleton, lovely. Scone managed 27 degrees, so it is certainly warmer throughout the upper Hunter at the moment. That southeasterly is pushing all the way up across the valley floor into the Gap tonight, and will continue to do so right across the weekend. Moisture content a little higher along the coast. Morning light westerlies again, and then that sea breeze will draw in, bending around to the east in the afternoon and pushing straight in right across the entire region. So it is just a lovely start to your day. Forecast rain, I don't think we'll see anything at all. That's just that onshore breeze pushing through, helping with a bit of cloud cover, particularly around the mountain areas with those cumulus clouds forming yet again. So we're going to see a very nice day unfold. Like today, we're looking at the low 20s right along the coastal suburbs for Gosford to the entrance, Wyong, Newcastle, Port Stephens, also shaping up nicely. We're looking at 23s and 24s right across the suburban areas that are looking pretty green and sparkling also at the moment, thanks to the rain earlier in the week with all of the storm activity. But now we are going to enjoy a dry weekend in comparison to the last one. Mid-20s on the way. We're looking at the 27-degree mark right throughout the Upper Hunter from Muswellbrook to Merry War, along the Golden Highway to the Pacific Highway to Scone and Murrurundi, and right across the Barringtons. Also a little bit cool this weekend, but it's going to be lovely weather also around Dungog, Gloucester, everywhere, enjoying the lovely weather. Swell abating from 2 metres, still fairly solid. Some chunky sets rolling through, slowly abating as we move through the weekend. We've got light seas because those winds are going to be very calm, particularly in the morning, light westerlies, and then switching and drawing in the afternoon. You're looking at a low tide tomorrow morning just before 9 o'clock, so the high will be back at 3:20, sun to rise at 5:45 and down at 7:30. The moon is up late, about 1:30 in the morning, so the evening is quite dark, awaiting for that, well, fading or that waning moon to arise. Looking very nice for boating, I'd say. You've got that moderate swell running, which is going to settle somewhat. Relatively light winds onshore in the afternoon, but offshore in the morning. Beautiful right across the lakes, the river systems, and offshore shaping up pretty nicely as well. So not half bad. It is that boating season. Really, it's getting underway. A little bit cool on the water, so make sure you rug up. Across the land also a little bit cool with this very consistent onshore influence continuing all the way into early next week. Warming up, and then by this time next week I'll be talking about rain again. We've got a big rain event that is going to spread across New South Wales, affecting next weekend, I would say. So make the most of this one. It is going to be beautiful for the Upper Hunter, and then just when more rain is needed, it'll move in at the end of the week. Central Coast, it's a similar story. The water.
Thank you, Gavin. That's the latest news. Be watching Weekend Today from 7 a.m. for more news headlines.
From all the team here, have a great weekend.
Good night.
Good night.